Welcome, my friends. This is Maniacal Incorporated, taking a bit of a break from Crusader Kings 3 to play what is probably my favourite Paradox Grand Strategy title, and that is Stellaris. I think it's because Ireland isn't in the game, so I don't have to put up with ahistorical representations of Tanistry and stuff like that. The history in Stellaris hasn't been written yet, so we don't know how right or wrong it's going to be. It's going to be about 180, 200 years before I have to start making videos on this. And recently, the Overlord DLC came out. And a good friend of mine, Paintingpoorly, very kindly gifted a copy of the DLC to me. So in his honour, I have created a poorly painted empire. Myself and Paintingpoorly are going to be playing in a D&D game on the Bearded Tit DM's stream over on Twitch. I'll put a link to his YouTube account down in the description. I'm sure he'll be putting the episodes up there after a while. It's going to be on Fridays. I think not next week, but the week after. And Paintingpoorly is going to be playing as a Tabaxi Warlock called Flood of Stars. So I have created a rough estimate of Tabaxi Warlocks in space. They are cats, they are Psykats. We're using the new teachers of the Shroud origin. So they gain latent psionics. We have access to a Shroud beacon, and we start in contact with a Shroudwalker enclave, one of the new enclaves that have been added to the game, so that is why we are the Shroudpainters. We have been given brief glimpses of the mysteries, the eldritch mysteries contained within the shrouds, and we wish to paint them. The actual Psykat traits are built partly off of what I think might work, and partly off of Paintingpoorly's playstyle in D&D games. So, natural sociologist, inclination towards sociology and biological studies. The amount of times I've had to try and figure out in our own games roles for Paintingpoorly to do when he wants to cut up dead bodies. It's generally medicine checks, and he generally fails. To much hilarity, but he does love dissecting bodies. Traditional for the Unity game, because we're going to be playing a Unity heavy type game. Deviant. Paintingpoorly is rebellious in nature and constantly tries to challenge the DM. And he's a very quick learner. He can very quickly figure out how to game the system. So it's going to be interesting to see how this D&D stream goes in a couple of weeks' time. Death Cult, because I just love it. I think it is absolutely fantastic. So we're going to be sacrificing members of the Psykat race to get various goodies and benefits. I've gone for meritocracy as well. Leader level cap +1, which isn't all that important. It's the specialist pop resource output +10%. That's why I picked meritocracy. I know how to play this game. We've gone for xenophobe. They're Psykats. They're Tabaxi. Tabaxi are described sometimes as reclusive. So it's predominantly for that pop growth speed. The Starbase influence cost reduction isn't too shabby either, and of course, Fanatic Spiritualist. Monthly Unity +20%, Edict upkeep is down 20%, and the Edict cost is down 20%, so that's handy as well. We are an oligarchy, led by the poorly painted one, and that gives us faction Unity gain plus 15%. Yeah, sure. More Unity from factions, how bad? Can't complain too much about that. Over here in the corner, we can see some of the factions I created previously. The Megachurch, the Church of the Sacred Algorithm, where we worship the YouTube algorithm in some live streams. And then, of course, the Board of Maniacal Incorporated itself, which I use predominantly when I'm playing. And for the last Maniacal Inc. Discord server multiplayer that we had. So if you want to join in, the next time, we're probably going to get one of these going in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. Maybe a month. So I have most of the DLC. I have all of the DLC except the Aquatics pack. So if I get that, I will have everything, and if I host, then you also have access to everything. And, yeah, it's good old fun. Fought over the Belle Delphine system. Got weird. Weird but fun. So do check out the description below if you want to join in the Discord and be kept up to date on the next multiplayer. So we're going to select the Shroudpainters. I should have just said, people have been saying, how are you going to shoehorn Irish history into Stellaris? I did have an Aes-She race at one stage. An Aes-She government made up of the Tuatha Dé Danann. So it was going to be the Tuatha Dé Danann in space. That was going to be my first actual stream, but I never got around to it. We'll do it some other time. I'm going to select these dudes, keeping most of the defaults. I've brought back the mid-game and in-game starts just to make a bit of a shorter game. I'll probably get the Living Daylights hammered out of me. I am useless at this, even on Captain difficulty. I am utterly useless. Most important thing, game is eligible for achievements. We're not even going to get that far. And here we are, the Shroudpainters. We have the teachers of the origin shroud, the myths of our forebears. Speak of the teachers, beings of great knowledge and power who helped to shape our earliest civilization. Through dreams, they approached us from afar, sharing their wisdom of the shroud and its teachings. Now our teachers have reached out once again, seeding our dreams with eldritch visions. They have provided us with the key to interstellar travel. In just a few years, we have built vessels capable of traversing the void. But how much further is it possible to go? Our teachers refer to a shroud tunnel, a natural wormhole that sits at the edge of their home system. Spawning our own tunnel should give us a direct path to the teachers themselves. May they continue to grant us wisdom as we take our first steps onto the galactic stage. The other thing I should have pointed out is that we are tropical preference, and our home system is Melbeck. It'll come up there in a second. So here are the teachers, the the Shroudwalkers. Our students for generations we have taught you seeding, our knowledge of the shroud and its mysteries within your dreams. Now that you have reached the stars, your true apprenticeship is at hand. The path forward will not be an easy one. To light the way, we grant you knowledge of the Shroud Beacon, a device of great power. Once built on one of your starbases, the beacon will spawn a shroud tunnel. Choose its location carefully, as you will not be able to spawn another. In times of need and uncertainty, call on us. In dreams, we will be watching. In waking life, we await your arrival. So it costs 25 shiny rocks to build a shroud beacon, and they will give us those 25 shiny rocks. As cats, based on the Tabaxi, we receive your gift with gratitude. We have earned this. We're cats. Cats think they've earned everything. So where we're going to start, in the Sambucha system, I'm going to pop out here for a second, and let us see. So here's one of the two systems we've discovered. So what we're going to be basically able to do, that's the other shroud tunnel. Yeah, do you know what? I'm happy enough. I'm happy enough. I've seen some of these starts. Every once in a while, you get like a tunnel here. The system is over here. So what we'll do is we'll be able to build a tunnel, and it will take us between these 2 points. So if we get locked off, every once in a while you might end up like with the starting position way over here, and it gives you this big divergent empire. So you could build over here and build over here, but yeah, we'll stick with it for now. Let's see what we have in the line of scientists. No latent psionics. We'll go for the research speed. We will go for the planetary unification. Gives us unity and monthly unity. Unity and monthly unity. And of course here is the psionic theory, which we now start with. Unlocked. I won't say unlocked, but it's available to be researched straight away. We can't get the psychic ascension until the 3rd perk, which is pretty much what we're going for, but you have to have this researched first of all. So before, this was a bit of a RNG related. It was entirely possible this wouldn't pop up when you were unlocking your 3rd perk, but now we get it. We get knowledge of it from the get-go. And what else have we? Not great. We'll go for the Corvette. Cost and speed. we're not going to see, this isn't going to be a min-maxed type game. This is going to be the exact opposite. If I knew what I was doing, I would strip my ships right now. I'd go into the capital world and I would fire the enforcers. I think I'd also actually activate our first edict to get some extra stability, even with just one guy. There's benefit to that right off the bat. Like I said, I've practically no idea what I'm doing. We're going to go for Veneration of Saints once we actually get the stuff for it, the Unity. And let's go and actually get something done. Now, I'm not going to show the surveying of every single planet, but we're pretty much going to head a bit in this direction, head a bit in this direction. Possibly around our first or second planet, we will build a starbase, and we will use that starbase to build a tunnel, which will connect us, like I said, way up to these guys. And we'll be able to teleport them between those two systems. So even if we could connect up this this entire region, we'd have an ability to kind of hop back and forth between it. With some of the recent changes, I haven't played in a while, so what caught me a bit off guard is the fact that it's now Unity to hire scientists. So we're gonna hold off on hiring a second scientist for a while. Stick him into a ship and send him off in the opposite direction. But for now, I think we have enough done to hit the start button.
Construction complete.
We've gotten a chunk of Unity together. We've finished construction just of a mine here in the capital. So I'm going to do a couple of things with our Unity. We'll get that science ship started, which I should have gotten started earlier if I knew what I was doing. And the other thing we're going for is edicts, if I can find them, and Veneration of the Saints. So that's going to increase the Death Priest output and Spiritualist Ethics attraction. Montu, the same day that I created the Psykats, Montu put up a video on how to go for a Psychic Ascension rush. This is going to be a Psychic Ascension saunter. We have our science ship. We don't have anyone great to shove in there. Do you know what? We'll wait the couple of days until the end of the year, and we'll see if they give us anything better. So, leader experience gain up 25%, but this is the most important one. Latent Psychic, research speed up 10%, research speed and psionics up 10%, survey speed up 25% in archaeology skill. So this is what we kind of want to hold out for. So we will recruit, and we're going to send him off in the other direction. I might send him down to here. I'm trying to find some choke points early. What's this planet looking like? That's not too shabby. So we're gonna colonize that planet now shortly. We usually start off with 2 in our surrounding area. So instead of going off looking for choke points, that might be an idea, is to try and find the other planet. And we have our traditions, the first of our traditions. The 3 that I think I'm going to go for to get us to the Psychic Ascension are, not in this order, adaptability, prosperity, and expansion. I think we'll start with expansion. For the colonization fever, I have a fever, and the only cure is more colonization. So it'll be colonization, reach for the stars, then probably prosperity, and maybe the one of these, and then get the 2 of those finished off and get on to adaptability. We'll kind of wander our way around there. I've seen people saying prosperity is a good tradition to start with. I tend usually to start with discovery, so this is going to be a bit of a change for me. We have completed the survey of the system, and I already had our construction ship in place, ready to go. And have we found our second tropical world? We have. It's an 18. So it's on par with this one. So fantastic, nice and close. We're going to be leaving all of these anomalies to begin with. We'll try and, like I said, find a region that we can kind of enclose. And
complete.
Secure the borders some way. And here is our precursor thing. We have recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization on Nosti 4. From what we have translated so far of their language, we have learned that these aliens call themselves the Irasian Concordate. They were an interstellar power that held sway over this region of the galaxy a little over 1 million years ago. They appear to have been 6-limbed mammalians, and there are several references of some sort of plague called the Givorian Pox, which swept across their empire with devastating results, possibly leading to their extinction. How interesting. So we get an artifact, and we begin the Irasian event chain. What I really want to get locked down to begin with is the minerals. I tend to run out of everything. We might very well be in a position, actually, to go to the market to buy a chunk of minerals and do some stuff on Melbeck. The fact that we have found the remnants has been greeted on our capital, Melbeck, with some apprehension. First contact protocols, we're going to be cautious because we are xenophobes. We have one job to be filled at the moment, Enforcer. Like I said, if we were intelligent, we would just turn off that job, because that's one of the kind of the starting tips for the elite players. Here on Thomso, Thomso 1, just to the south of our starting planet, we're going to build our first colony. Names come spiraling through the shroud. What do they mean? We have no idea, but these are the instructions which we have been given by whatever eldritch beings in the shroud are telling us things. Our first planet will be called Emery. And I'm just trying to see. I think Emery is going to probably, by a factor of 1, be our Forge World. Or our, Forge World. And this is going to be civilian industries. So our construction ship is just building a couple of things down here. We'll send it across in this direction, and then we'll get a second construction ship up and running. So we'll go here and click Sign Ship. We continue to push on with our traditions. Starbase influence cost reduced. So that's going to really help push our early expansion. Those two. So we're gonna open up probably prosperity next. A ton of things have all just happened at once. First of all, we have finished exploring down in this direction. So that's a good choke point. This would be a good choke point. Well, no, it wouldn't. Because we have all this area, and I don't know what's out around there. So I think we might try and get a second construction ship to push. And even if we can take here, I do, and I have ended up in the last while pushing out too far from our starting position and not actually getting any defenses set up, and people have been bold and they have set upon me. We'll go to here. We have a new science ship. So again, anomaly research speed. We have a choice between research speed plus 10 and research speed plus 10. It's the exact same. Spark of Genius and Psychic would be fantastic. There's anomaly research speed. So we'll get you. And what I might just have this guy do is kind of fill in the gaps. So we're shooting out and we're looking for, like I said, choke points at the moment. We'll get this guy to fill in some of the gaps and maybe even start on some of the anomalies back here. We've sent a colony ship out to found Emery. I'm not too sure if we're in a position. This has an anomaly. Right. Where did that guy just go? It's going to take a while. We'll get him to survey these 3, and then we'll get him to do that anomaly.
We are spreading our faith to a new world.
The first Psykat colony. Our colony ship has found a rare patch of open ground in the jungles of Emery and has made planetfall. The landing site is surrounded on all sides by lush vegetation, and sentry drones have been deployed to guard against predators. The ship has been permanently converted into the administrative headquarters of the new settlement, and its reactor core is in the process of being removed so that it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up around the former starship's massive hull as colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. The first Psykat city on an alien world. This is a great day for the Shroudpainters, as we begin to gain an understanding of the systems around us. I think we're going to have this guy just survey the system and then get rid of that anomaly. We want to get this planet up and running some way fast. This usually happens. They've given us the habitable world survey after we've surveyed 2 habitable worlds. A commendable initiative.
Situation log updated.
What we will do first of all is we will clear a blocker here, and then we'll get, I don't know, do we want a city district? I don't think we're too bad for now. We will adopt prosperity, so we're kind of going back and forth between these two instead of getting any one finished off straight away. We're putting together a good chunk of energy, so we'll be able to use that for something. Minerals. There you go. It's looking like this is a dead end, so this entire area is cut off, so we don't need to worry about this.
The spirits have granted us new
So what I might do is turn and go in this direction. We have new research. We have access to Zro, or we will have at some stage. Not great options. Not great options. We will go for the tile blocker for now. And again, with all the unity that we're outputting, we're making fairly good progress. Buildings and districts have their build cost reduced by 10%. I think that's the one that we will go for now, because we are going to start pushing out some buildings. This area is indeed
construction complete.
Largely cut off, so we leave this region to be dealt with later. We're in the process of getting another sign ship up and running. Garadrig Den Vagors is probably the closest. We don't really have a naming list that's like the Tabaxi in D&D. So, Flood of Stars, Bag of Nails, stuff like that. We don't really have a name list like this. This is probably the closest one. We can pretend it's in the... that's like Flood of Stars and Bag of Nails in the Flask of Wine in the Psykat language. We'll go with this guy. Voidcraft. And it does indeed look as though this region is cut off. So we're gonna push up in this direction and see what's actually out here. We have set foot on Emery. We've gotten the system up and running. We will, of course, stick in a sacrificial temple. Creates 1 death priest job and 1 mortal initiate. And the mortal initiates are the guys that sacrifice themselves when we call a big sacrifice.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
You can see here, this system is the one we're trying to get rid of this anomaly around the habitable planet, and you can see how slow it's going. The spirits, fair play to them, have given us a technology. We're going to try and start setting up something vaguely resembling a navy shortly, because I do tend to forget about that and get beaten up by mean people. We found an abandoned gateway. I think that's down here. There you go. This region is looking quite interesting as well. A choke point there, and maybe a choke point here. And then we have this entire region cut off. But again, I'm thinking too far ahead, too expansionist. We have an abandoned gateway, which is some big chunk of technology that might lead us to far distant parts of the galaxy. Or to other places. Interesting. On our capital world, we are going to get another research lab going. So it's pretty much sacrificial temples and research labs, I think, is what we're going to be packing the capital with. I have a vague understanding of planetary capacity. I know that we want to keep that at double our population, so population growth is probably going to be slowing down at the moment. We'll build a city district. That'll be the next thing that we build here. We've gotten more technoliucht minerals from minor jobs, absolutely. I think this is the
System
first
survey
archaeological dig site that we have discovered, way up in this direction, up to the north. And again, if we could push out to there, or even out to here, we'd create some interesting choke points. And many of those anomalies are going to have really interesting and beneficial stuff for improving the regions, and we're pretty much ignoring them for now. We've found a second gateway, so obviously these two are connected, so you can warp from there to there. Fantastic. So our investigation of the caverns below the surface of Nostia 5 revealed them to be filled with a silvery liquid metal that flows from cavern to cavern in gleaming rivers, pooling into underground lakes. More surprising still is the discovery that this metal substance shares many key properties with organic life forms, including responding to environmental stimulus and exhibiting self-sustaining processes. It remains to be seen whether this exceptional metal should be classified as truly alive, but it may have several practical applications for our engineering technology. How curious. So I think that brings that chain to an end, which means that we are... No, it's still telling us it has an anomaly. Does it still have an anomaly? It does! I hope it's the second one on the same planet, and I didn't just... I probably went for the wrong anomaly, not realizing there were two. I won't say I'm caught. We'll go for this quickly, and we will take a look at building upkeep and district upkeep. City districts provide one additional housing, so that could actually help with pushing up the population. The next one we're going to go for is pop growth, and we might actually finish off expansion. We are going to buy a chunk of minerals, and here on Emery we are going to build a district, and on Melbeck will build a district. Emery, like I said, is going to be responsible for probably alloys, because we have, I think we have an extra one or two on Nostia, or Nosti. So if we can get that built, then that will be our consumer goods production, because consumer goods are going to be very important to us. We have found, is it exotic gases down this direction? And we will leave that be.
System survey complete.
So it's not looking like this region is a dead end, but we should be able to maybe set up a choke point there. Now we are shortly going to start running out of influence. That's our only problem. So we're going to have to kind of start picking and choosing where we are and aren't going.
Anomaly found.
This is a handy defensive point, like I said, if nothing
System
else.
survey complete.
It would be great to get down to that ocean world, though.
Construction complete.
Considering the problems that we're having up there, that might be an idea.
System survey complete.
And what in the hell have we discovered here? A ruined matter decompressor, an orbital station in severe disrepair. This matter decompressor once skirted natural law by reclaiming matter from the black hole in this system. Madness. Insanity. We'll get that mining station up. And up here we have a tundra and savanna world. So it's looking like we might be able to push for here. And that could serve as a choke point. And this is why we want to start getting choke points down. We have hit our first people in space. Enigmatic seafarers, Melbeck is in uproar following the news of unidentified ships sighted in the void. Their intentions unknown. It would be prudent to assume the worst. And we have named them the Samek Menace until we know more about them. So we have made contact. And we will deploy one of our envoys to see what exactly is going on up in this region. So that system would be a good choke point. One of those two systems would be a good choke point. Not that one. That would be terrible. So either this one or pushing out to there. pushing out to there would be even better, but that's gonna consume a lot of influence that we could be using somewhere else. So that's the kind of the decision that has to be made. We'll see what kind of people these are, and then we might need to consider building a fleet to go and defend ourselves. We have finished our precincts, or our districts, I should say. We're going to put up an alloy foundry on Emery. We have been hit by heretics somewhere. Where have we been hit by heretics? Way up here.
Anomaly found.
Did we make it out alive? It looks like it. Fossilized remains have been discovered on Emery. Remains from several different species that do not appear to have been indigenous to Emery have been found in a large and secluded valley on the planet. They all date from roughly the same time period, within the span of a few centuries more than 3.6 million years ago. Each of these species seems to have evolved in its own unique biosphere, and all appear to have been sapient. Strangely, every fossilized individual found so far shows signs of having met a violent end. How curious. So we have an archaeological site. The science ship has encountered a hostile station. We will leave these ruins be for now. I have an idea as to who this might be. And if it is, I don't know if I want to continue this first contact protocol. If it is who I think it is, then we don't actually even need to expand up in this direction anymore. We can actually stop and focus on going a different way. Spacefaring civilization discovered. A savanna planet with large surface settlements. No, this isn't who I thought it was. They are hostile, however. Let's start building some fleets. Oh, this is a pity. Up in this region we have found an observation post, or we could build an observation post, around a Bronze Age civilization. Considering that we are xenophobes, maybe we wouldn't want to do that. But I'm thinking of maybe here in this system setting up a defensive position. We have been told of aliens somewhere else, and I have a feeling it's down here. No, it's not. It is. Now look at this. For a potential research world, planetary build speed goes down, governing ethics attraction goes down, but engineering, physics, and society research all go up. And that also has an anomaly. We're getting some factions being founded. The Conclave of the True Gospel.
System survey complete.
And I know what they want. I know what they want. Let's take a look at them. Empty shells, they're not happy about that. So what we'll do is we will come to our policies. Diplomatic stance at the moment is expansionist. So outpost build cost goes down, colony development speed goes up, border friction goes up. I will switch that to isolationist when we've actually figured out where the borders of our world are. So monthly unity will go up. But for now, what the Conclave of the True Gospel want is they want us to outlaw robotic workers. Now we've no interest in building robots. That will make them happy, and it will give increased unity. And what we might very well do with that increased unity is build a science ship and hire a scientist to go inside it. We're trying to get our population up here. We still have a couple of jobs. Metallurgist, no metallurgist jobs have been taken on as yet. We'll get that final feature cleared out. So it should be, there should be fairly good population growth at the moment, 4.52. And Melbeck is on 3.42. I'm going to pretend I know what those numbers mean. I thought maybe that was a colonized system. Maybe I'm wrong. We will, however, go and do nothing. Never mind. So it's one of the things I usually play, like I said, as a megacorp, as Maniacal Incorporated. Sure, survey speed, not the best. And so this is the first time that I've had to deal with kind of not having 3 envoys. So we'll get the science ship out in this direction. How many do we have? 5 is a good number. So we'll get you out in this direction. And
system survey complete.
We'll get you filling in some of these areas and getting minerals and things. The poorly painted one has made a rather, or taken a rather inopportune time to form a faction, blocking me from setting on the dudes doing surveying. We can't, however, be angry with the poorly painted one. What's their faction? The Ascendancy Block. Members seek to assert the primacy of the Psykat species by curtailing the rights of aliens if necessary. And what do they want? Aggressive first contact protocols. I don't think we'll switch to that. The majority of our population is part of the conclave of the true gospel, so we'll leave them there. And like I said, we'll go for that pop growth boost. This is when we start running now into influence problems. So in the Alcoid system, we will upgrade that to a starbase, and I think this is going to be, for now, the most northerly part of our empire. So we have this region locked off. We can go and deal with this as we wish. At the very least, we've blocked anything from getting up into the capital system through here, or through here, but of course we have a planet down here that we're going to try and solidify control over at some point in time. So we would really like to push to here. That would be fantastic. And we'll see how far we can push out in this direction. So the Samek Nemes, these are the guys I think to our north. Our attempts to learn more about them have so far been in vain. They are wise to be cautious. We could attempt to hack their database. No. They're wise to be cautious. Ugh. Hell's bells, because we found living metal in Nostia, we have access to living metals. How long would this take? 917 months. We'll go for Corvette hull points. The Jogra homeworld. Where the hell is this going on? This planet was the homeworld of the Jogra, a subjugated client species of the Arassian Concordate, a molluscoid species that was on the verge of achieving spaceflight when the Arassians discovered them, the Jogra, were conquered after a lengthy military campaign that devastated many of their cities. There is evidence on the surface that a sizable Arassian military garrison was stationed there for decades afterwards, suggesting that the Jogra were not content to remain under the Arassian yoke.
Situation log updated.
So I'm not too sure where that was actually carried out, unless it was on Nostia. It looks like it was. So the space base has finished construction. I have just gone building a couple of military units, so what I would like to try and do, we're going to put in 2 space bases up there. One of the menaces is the Tianki. They are venerable, so the diviners name these beings floating through the dark the Tianki. They are a sacred and peaceful spaceborne life form that roams the system. So those are the guys in the bottom left. We gain some influence.
An alien empire now speaks to us in the language of the divine.
I think there they are. There they are. So we're still trying to figure out who these guys are. And I should have done this. I don't think we care because they're not the most powerful. We are finally in a position to colonize Nostia. No, we're not. We're 172 minerals or 172 alloy short. We are finally in a position to colonize Nostia. After buying a big heap of minerals or alloys on the market. I'll do that someday. I'll need alloys, and I'll go and I'll buy minerals. I'll buy minerals. We will start the colonization of Valtorg. And that's going to be our consumer goods planet.
Construction
Consumer goods
complete.
are running low a small bit, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. We have established
The
communications
spirits have
with
granted us new wisdom.
the Deathbringers. That's nothing to be worried about. On screen.
An alien empire now speaks to us in the language of the divine.
That's nothing. God damn it. Shroud, damn it. Quake in fear, alien scum, as your doom approaches. The Hajanrati Deathbringers will cleanse this galaxy of every misbegotten Xeno civilization that pollutes it with their presence. Melbeck shall burn. We share the same divine heritage. They're going to attack us anyway. So we can see that we have pretty much gotten to a fairly good position. We could try and take this system. It'll delay them from getting to our border, not by very long. I think they've already taken... That would have been a great defensive position. But I think we're okay where we are.
Project complete.
We have completed an archaeological project. Remnants of a Jogran subspace message have been found on Nostia 3, which appears to have been transmitted to the homeworlds of the Erassian Concordate's other client species. The time to strike at the tyrants is now. Our agents have learned that the Javorian pox only affects the weak Erassians, but any species can act as a carrier for the disease. Every effort must be made to infiltrate their worlds, their space stations, their ships, even their unintelligible. At long last, the Erassians have met a foe that cannot be brought low by their vaunted Starfleet. By the unintelligible, this opportunity must not be squandered. We've gained an artifact, an Erassian artifact, gained some physics research. I think this is an amazing sign, an amazing signal to the Psykats at this point in time, as we have learned of this terrifying threat to our independence and our stability in this region. What we will do is send this guy to research some anomalies. He's done absolutely nothing with his life other than try and get Nostia up and running. If I am right, we should have a ship going out there, a colonist ship going out there to establish a colony. We're going to try and get somebody down to the one in the south as well, but what we're going to do, I think we're going to take this opportunity. We are a bit low on alloys. We'll come to our edicts. We have togetherness, which increases unity gain, harmony, which increases pop happiness, and we have bounty. Each one sacrificed increases the odds of additional gains in minerals and energy output. We are going to hold a sacrifice of our mortal initiates. A sense of well-being can already be felt throughout the Shroudpainters as pilgrims gather at their chosen places of worship. Sometimes they make offerings. Many take advantage of the myriad stalls and street sellers which serve our holy sites. Various rituals have been observed and invested in this cycle's mortal initiates, whose silent procession was festooned with garlands of various kinds. The principal death priest at Melbeck led an inspiring sermon promising productive and comfortable times for all. I think there was probably a degree of worry as well. As the sermons close, each mortal initiate proceeded to the sacrificial chamber to meet their end, leaving a legacy in benevolent study. 39%, not the worst. If we had another mortal initiate on Valtorg, if we had gotten that planet settled already, if it hadn't been for the delays due to the anomalies, we could have gotten that into the 40s. Blessed be the divine. So we've seen a bit of a drop in the population. We're going to see a jump in our mineral and energy production. So we're up to 73 per turn and 59. So we can sell that for alloys. We get more pop growth. Can't complain about that. We can complain about our options, however. We might go for that siphon. Now here's something you don't see every day. Here is a system. Well, actually, I don't have a clue what this is, but I imagine we have found a lithoid species. I wouldn't be surprised. This is a system which is just to the west of our kind of choke point here. I'd be hoping that we could get the construction ship in and get a take this system, because I do want to take that gateway. But down here then, like I said, we have Forge Fall, Leavenbank. So 2 planets. And we have somebody wandering around here, so we'll see what's down in this direction. More neighbors. Hopefully these ones are friendly. Space Automata, or Automata even. I think that's those guys. We have another tradition, or another one of the perks in the traditions to unlock. Like I said, I think we'll push for the starbase upkeep decreases, and we'll see about where we'll start building additional starbases. I'm inclined to consider sending the Navy, I was going to say the Army, the Navy down in this direction. Let's see what we can get in terms of a leader. Leader lifespan goes up 25. An admiral with something better and the latent psionics. That would be perfect. That's what would be absolutely great. 1 starbase is going to go here. And then we have this entire area blocked off. And if we could deal with the automata and lock this off, then we basically have the borders of our empire. We're told about the ancient mining drones. Understood.
An alien empire now speaks to us in the language of the divine.
Our scientists have discovered something rather momentous. The mountain range they scanned earlier was in actuality the outer membrane of a gigantic egg. It's uncertain what behemoth could lay such an egg, and what horror could hatch from it. We could study it from afar, gain 4 society. We are cats. Crack it open.
Situation log updated.
So we have finally sent a science ship into EMX Singularity, and it has discovered the Matter Decompressor, impossibly perched on the event horizon of EMX Singularity, is some kind of mining apparatus. Our scientists theorize that this may be a Matter Decompressor, a megastructure designed to mine materials from a black hole. While it is no longer fully functional, some mechanism preventing its spaghettification must still be operational. Fascinating. What I'm hoping to do is get the Navy up to 20. And then we'll see what we're going to do from there. With any alloys from there on in, we're going to pump them into defensive structures up in this region. I should actually check, do we have... So the Council of High Technology has been founded. They're going to get into conflict with the True Gospel. Do I have that second? I don't, because we will want to be able to churn out ships here at a fairly high speed. And we'll get the crew quarters as well, because more than likely, if I do send our fleet down in this direction to deal with the asset protection unit, I am doing that drone study at the moment. We haven't gone cracking the egg open yet. We'll crack the egg open. We will crack it open, absolutely, to get the gooey goodies inside of it, because it's going to be something nice and tasty, obviously. We're beginning to fill in some of the spots that we left behind in our rush to find choke points. I've pulled these guys out of this region because there's no point. And I don't think we're going to get hit by whatever's over here. We've locked off this region. We're not in a position to build it yet. We need 500 alloys. So we're gonna hold off. We're gonna get those 500 alloys, and we're gonna build that shroud beacon here. And we're going to take our final expansion perk to complete the, or to get the actual perk, and we're going to go with one vision. Monthly unity is going to go up, pop amenity usage will go down, governing ethics attraction will go up, so the unity gain is very important for us. I think we're going to take one more prosperity, and then we're going to take, will we take habitability? No, we won't. We mightn't take habitability at all, because we actually don't have a lot of planets here that we could make habitable. Now that's going to take a lot more work than just 10%, and that's pretty much the only other planet we have until we get the our ships down here.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Thank you, spirits. We've gained some stuff. The colony development speed, fantastic. And we'll go for the survey speed. Probably should have gone for the lasers. In dealing with the Daleth Menace, the guys down here, who we've just blocked off, we're told that they make noises, a mixture of threatening, booming noises, and what sounds like the grinding of metal on metal. So we have some options of how to respond. We don't know, are they talking to us? Or are they threatening us? They can't help how they sound. We will get pop happiness goes down. First contact skill increases. It's impossible to predict how they will respond if we send threatening noises back, or we could just prepare for war. Militarist ethics attraction goes up 30. Ship build speed. It's going to be one of these. How would xenophobic cats respond to loud noises? It's a challenge. Send threatening noises back. Our response seems to have left the Daleth Menace quite speechless. As soon as they received it, they fell completely silent, and we have heard little from them since. We can only speculate as to the meaning of this. In the meantime, our linguists have been hard at work translating what we know of their language. Hopefully, once we have made sufficient progress, we will be able to make some sense of this. Intriguing. Worrying. Intriguing. We have found a natural wormhole. Where exactly? I have no idea. We've detected what appears to be a naturally occurring subspace phenomena on the edge of the Sebek system. A rift in the very fabric of space and time. Or even space-time. Way up there at the corner. Nice. So that's locked in. And we have foiled a hacking attempt by the Daleth Menace, the Devils. Trying to hack us, trying to hack the HSE, the cat's HSE.
Survey complete.
Absolute devils.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Thank you, spirits, as always. Thank you. So we've gotten those siphons. Might start building some new ship types with those. We go for the gene clinics to keep the population growth going. This is a bit worrying. We have managed to decipher enough of the language used by the civilization we know as the Irzuku Cooperative to open communications with them and to make sense of their earlier broadcasts. It would seem that, as we suspected, they are a warlike society who greeted us with their most fearsome war cry, apparently to test our mettle. Fortunately, our response passed muster, and we have apparently managed to earn their respect. Indeed, they seem to consider our prowess as warriors second only to theirs. Good?
An alien empire now speaks to us in the language of the divine.
They seem to like us. Now, I'm going to try and improve relations. We're going to try and improve relations with these guys. Our borders are closed to them at the moment. I think we'll at least take this system, and then we might open up the borders and try to get them on side. If we get an alliance with them to help against these devils, that would be quite helpful.
The faithful have claimed a new world.
Finally, it has taken us quite a long time, but we have set foot on Valtorg. We will build, where the hell has it gone to? Sacrificial Temple, you know the story. We'll build that district, and then we will stick in a consumer goods before they run out on us. We finished our study of the drones. I don't think we need to worry about them. So we could get the drone destroyer, or we could get fascinating automata. 10% mineral output. I think that's exactly what we will go with. As you can see, I've started messing around here already. What I am going to do is... Probably didn't even need to do this, but just because of how badly we actually need to get it up and running, we're going to put in the civilian industries and get those built first before anything else. We'll take our task force. We'll bring it down in this direction. Get some people over here. We have some scientists down here. We're going to get them in to survey that system and lock it off as quickly as possible. So we've just been told that our edict, the benefits that we were gaining from that sacrifice have ran up. We will hold on before we do anything for a while. We have discovered something frozen in a block of ice. Its eyes glare fiercely ahead, tentacles reared, and muzzle twisted into a gruesome grimace. We could space the abomination and get some influence for expanding our stations. We could gain some society research. Extract and store a DNA sample for future use. I'd like to see what possible military applications we could get from this thing. And we're just about to see our fleet come in. Ship upkeep or ship fire rate. Do you know what? We'll go for the fire rate. Go on. It's a pity he doesn't have latent psionics.
Heretic fleet engaged.
And here we are. The first Psykat battle. Which ended fairly quickly. Didn't even take any damage. There's a good chance I'm going to park him back at our station up here. We still haven't, our borders still haven't actually met with the, what are they? Fanatic Purifiers. Fantastic, that's great. So we have started kind of building this this station a bit. I'd say we'd need, if they were to hit us, they'd hit us with about 2,000 in terms of fleet capacity. So we'd want to start expanding, getting into a position to resist that. We have a fantastic opportunity here to impress the Irzuku. We have found a crash ship with some minerals aboard it. We will not risk an altercation. We will return the minerals, because we are good cats. Yes, we are. So they're delighted. We gain a lot of extra influence. We get a favor with them, and opinion has been changed. So they're only just hostile now. That's great. What can only be described as a dimensional portal has been discovered in a remote location on Valtorg. Weather prediction algorithms noticed a strange air current, which was eventually determined to be caused by the slight leakage of atmosphere into the portal. The rate of loss is far too small for it to make any difference to life on Valtorg, but the very existence of this portal raises some disturbing questions, such as, where does it lead to? And could something come through the portal from the other side? How interesting. So we have a special project, and we get some researcher jobs on Valtorg.
Situation log updated.
So finally, we have finished our research in this area. We might be able to lock off, form another choke point over here, which would be absolutely fantastic. And what do we want to go for? I think we'll actually go for the specialist pop resource output first of all. Then we'll go for maybe discovery. It's a bit late at this stage. We have a number of pop-ups. First of all, the election for a new poorly painted one will take place. We're told that there is a... We'll leave that for now. That could again be another good defensive position if we were to push out, and that's another choke point. We've gotten some more research, so it's taken us a while to get this one done because we went and researched the thing that was connected to those mining drones. What do we want to go for? We don't have a good mining planet at the moment, so that's not of tremendous use to us. We don't have 422 months to spend, so that's not of much use to us at the moment. Do you know what? None of these are great. For as many as we have, I think we'll go for the... Yeah, we'll just go for the metal armor. We're 3 months out from a gene clinic as well, which is another thing. I might start throwing those down on planets to get the numbers up. Let's see what this election looks like. So, Flood of Stars, the current ruler, has decided not to, or has not been put forward for election. Ship weapons damage and edicts upkeep. And instead, we have nowhere near the unity to actually influence this election. Who would I like? Sukkadrig wouldn't be the worst. Sarum, one of these two. So pop growth and happiness would be fantastic. Mining station output. We're not going to be building a lot of colony ships. Science ship cost, we're not going to be building a lot of science ships. Anomaly research, we could be doing a lot of that. Starbase module, yes. Sarum, this is the guy that we want. So hopefully... No. Somebody completely different. God, we have a lot of angry people. Well, not angry, but one of them is stubborn, and one of them is out of his mind. The things that the Shroud has been sending back to him have been shocking and terrifying him. There's no point taking somebody with survey speed off, and who else do we have? You're not suited for the position. Anomaly research, definitely not. Leader experience gain and research speed for psionics. And you know what? This is the guy who will be researching psionics at some stage. So we will put you there, and then hire a new scientist to fill the role just vacated. If there was some society research, that'd be fine, but we don't have that. And of course, we don't actually have the unity until the end of the month.
The spirits have granted us new wisdom.
Thank you, spirits. So there's our gene clinics that we've been looking for a while. I think we'll go with the tile blockers, and we'll get that society research next. Let's see what way we are in terms of planets. So yeah, we'll stick a gene clinic down here on the capital. And I think we might be okay in the other regions. Our problem at the moment is that we're just trying to get this last job filled. We're on the verge of filling it, and it's for a clerk, so we could just shut those guys down. Consumer goods is under control. There's 3 jobs to hire here, so I won't go and build a thing just yet. A sacrificial temple. We'll probably be looking at one soon enough, however. Here is our starbase that is bordering these guys over here. So we still haven't gotten the... Do you know what? Go on. I didn't check if that was going to be enough. It's not. We'll hold on the 11 days.
Survey complete.
And we will begin building a shroud beacon. We might have left it too late. No, maybe not. We should be able to get over there.
Construction complete.
And see what's going on. Well, look, we don't have a lot else to do up here. So let's go and crack open an egg. What could possibly go wrong? The answer is nothing. So another thing we've managed to do is build a station around the matter decompressor and the black hole. So what we'll do eventually is we'll put a black hole research center in here, and basically a ton of anchorages. So that's what I tend to do. A unique strategy that I bet nobody else does. I bet I am the only person that does that. Is that the only black hole that we have? It is. That's a bit of a pity.
Construction complete.
And we have finished construction of a shroud beacon. The beacon is lit. After a long period spent grasping in the dark, the veil that covers the shroud has been lifted. Our teachers have bestowed a great gift upon us, the beacon. And the tunnel it spawns will surely light our way across the stars. Journeys from this system will now be faster and infinitely more mysterious. May the shroud welcome our passage. So it's 2222. It's taken us a good while to actually get that up and running. Fair play to those spirits, they've granted us new wisdom. We're going to use that to go for the research. We're actually running out of energy a small bit. We're going to complete some studies in a couple of places. A couple of things are going to happen all at once. The crew, we've gotten an unknown contact. The crew has returned from their research mission visibly shaken. They provide vague and often conflicting reports of what they've encountered in Hixam 4. Though in one matter they are all united. The still flowing sea that wraps pole to pole around the planet is somehow alive. Oh no. Though it bears no organs or corporality, we can identify the planetary ocean seems to communicate with frequencies that affect the brain activity of the recipient. This is going to be a great colony. It's able to induce thoughts, images, emotions, and what is more, affects each individual differently. So we absolutely will speak to the ocean.
Situation log updated.
And what we're going to do is
special project complete.
We can actually do that. We can focus here, because here's another special project. To translate the Rosetta Stone. We get tons of really cool things in this region. But here is the science ship that completed that mission. We will send them through the wormhole, and they will fly off in that direction. We have a construction ship here. I will get them to build that research station, and then they will follow through. And they will hopefully lock down the system and possibly open up a second front against the Deathbringers. That might very well put us actually closer to them and cause some problems. I really do need to expand the places that we have over here. I've fallen behind a bit. We're okay for energy credits at the moment. Or so I like to pretend. We have the ability to upgrade Emery, which we will do. Our science ship stands on the edge of the black hole. It has disappeared. We have met a new menace. I imagine it's probably up in this direction, is it? It is indeed. And we are greeted by the Shroudwalkers. Apprentices, at last we can greet you properly. Through the tunnel long prepared about 22 years ago, your passage has been felt by the Shroud itself. The echoes yet shiver, rippling through the waters of the unconscious mind. Those who dwell within the mysteries of the Shroud have surely blessed our meeting. You are most welcome here. This is excellent. And we will start by surveying the system and figuring out who these guys are. And where does it put us in relation to them? What we're going to try and do is lock down this system. We're going to try and get a construction ship. Like I said, once this guy has finished, we're going to send that construction ship across and see what's going on. And do you know what? I think we will leave it to the next episode to see what excitement is contained within this egg. I'm sure it's just gooey goodness. What could possibly go wrong? The Shroudpainters have established the beginnings of a border. I'm pretty happy with the layout that we have here. We are under threat. We are threatened by enemies to the north. We have finally contacted the Shroudwalkers. So in the next episode, we're going to try and solidify our borders, get that Psychic Ascension perk, and begin to unravel the mysteries of the Shroud and paint with the most vibrant of colours. Thank you for joining me on this episode, and I know, because of my psychic powers, I know that I will see you already on the next one.